You guys know how much I love talking about Tropical Smoothie Cafe. We have one right down the street and we go, I don't know, 3 times a week. And Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes you deserve a little vacay every day, not just once a year. So you want to get on Tropic Time, you're going to get some of their new bright, refreshing smoothies, Tropic bowls, wraps, and flatbreads. It's so delicious for lunch. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. That means we're going to talk about 90 Day Happily Ever After. And Kimberly is back. She's back off her triumphant appearance at CrimeCon, where she and my other part of my throuple, Katie, won Creator of the Year.
She's back.
So proud of you, Kimberly.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was very surprising.
All right, I would like to hear the other people in your category so we can really know who you beat.
True Crime Garage.
Okay, that's a big one.
Ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Ever heard of them? Crime Weekly.
Okay.
Body Bags. The Prosecutors.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. There's 5. Yeah.
Okay.
There's 5 of us.
Okay. So you weren't up against Nancy Grace.
No, this year we were not. Last year we were.
Okay.
But no.
Did she win last year?
No. The Prosecutors won last year.
I've never heard of the Prosecutors. Do I need to check that out?
They're very big. People have very strong feelings about them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both ways.
Okay.
That's all.
Actually, they're lawyers. They're prosecutors.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll tell you more off.
Okay. I could probably just look it up on Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
But they were lovely to us. They won last year and they waited after the award was announced backstage to say congratulations to us, and we're very nice. So
okay. So they didn't say, "Way to steal our thunder, bitches."
No, they were so excited for us. So couldn't have been more gracious.
Well, I felt very proud of you, ladies. You worked very hard, and you deserve the accolades at CrimeCon.
Thank you.
And my good friend was at CrimeCon because she's a, she's a web sleuth herself, and she was very excited to go. She was very excited to meet Nancy Grace. And then I was like, "You're there?" I was like, "It's fuck Nancy Grace. Go find my friends." And so she came over and found you. I was excited about that.
Nancy Grace is a cult leader. She needs to know.
I know. I mean, I think my friend could be swayed into a Nancy Grace cult. She could. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She is. Anyway, I couldn't believe she just went to CrimeCon by herself to meet all her favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place to go by yourself. Everyone's really, really welcoming, and we always tell people we'll have meetups for single people that are there by themselves. Mm-hmm. Actually, I ordered these stickers that say I'm friends with the Date with Dateline. I'm here by myself but would love to make friends, or I'm an introvert but would love to chat, or I'm here with friends but come join my friend group. I ordered a bunch of stickers. They never arrived.
Way to go, Amazon.
Vistaprint is not giving me my full refund.
I love Vistaprint. That's surprising.
I know. I gotta they're literally, I can't use them anymore. That it's not I can use them for other things. They're done now. I could wait until next CrimeCon, which is in Denver in 2025.
Yes.
And I am good at holding on to things for that long of time. That's one of my superpowers. Yeah. And so maybe that's what I'll just do.
Okay. So yes, you mean you can't use the stickers. I thought you meant you'll never use Vistaprint again. You mean you can't use the stickers?
I like Vistaprint. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Vistaprint made my cards. So yeah.
Yeah. It was just they just still have not arrived. It's been several weeks. I don't know what happened.
We had these amazing drink holders that we got for BravoCon that also didn't arrive. And they were to go in our goodie bags, and we were going to give them away. And now
koozies?
Koozie drink holders. Yeah.
But were they from Vistaprint?
No, I don't know where they were from, but Ingrid was and then when they arrived at Ingrid's house, we were already in in Vegas, and her husband took the entire box to the pack and ship place and was like, how much will this cost to mail to Vegas? And they were like, $300. I was like, not worth it.
Oh
Do
my
not
God.
send those koozies for
Yeah.
$300 to Vegas. We do not care
Mm-mm.
that much.
Mm-mm.
So we have them for next year.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. It's well deserved. I know you guys are self-deprecating, but I was very proud of you and your hard work, and you deserve it.
Thank you. You're so nice.
And I haven't listened yet, but I saw you had an interview this week with Andrea Canning. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's really
Uh-huh.
exciting because we've been wanting her on the show for like 7 years. Yeah, since we started. Yeah.
Okay,
And
great. Well, I can't wait to
I'm
listen to that.
excited. She was so nice. So
She have 5 kids?
6.
What? She beat Kate Casey by 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they really wanted a boy, I believe, and so I think they're done now. I mean, might be just
Did they have 5 girls and 1 boy?
5 girls, and I know her husband really wanted a boy, so they
Wow.
finally had a boy, and then I think they're done now. But I don't mean to talk about her family planning, but
No, my
she's pretty
goodness.
open about it. So
Jeez.
yeah,
Do you know that's the
and
same
she
thing?
still rocks a bikini on Instagram. I mean, we all should, but
Wow.
we all should.
No,
Everybody
you only
is a beach body.
you
but
only should if you want to.
you only should if you want to. But she's like ageless wonder. It's incredible.
She is. Well, good for her. You know, that's like Zach Brown of Zach Brown Band and his first wife. They had 5 daughters, and they kept trying, and the 6th one was a boy. So then the poor wife got to take a breather.
I think at that point you let science intervene, right? Can't you do like
Yeah.
some egg retrieval and then like pick the can do that, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
I would too. I think after 2 or 3, I'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's
Yeah.
don't try to hit 6 and 7.
No.
Yeah.
Because then each girl is like, oh, they just wanted a boy. I'm only here because they wanted a boy.
Totally. Well, I want to
And gender is a social construct. Let's be real.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I would like to make an announcement. This is the announcement I'm making to you as well, because you don't know about it.
Oh my gosh.
With the July 2nd episode here, Tuesday's episode, where we cover 90 Day Fiancé, we're going to switch it up. We are not going to cover the Sunday show, which is Happily Ever After. We're going to put Happily Ever After over to the old Hey Bunky on Patreon. And here, starting July 2nd, Tuesday, July 2nd, we are going to be covering the new season of 90 Day the Other Way, which will be airing on Monday, July 1st.
What?
Mm-hmm. So you won't
With
have
me
to talk.
Still?
Yes, with you. I'm not kicking you off. Yeah. We're going to switch shows.
I never want to presume. So if you wanted to make a change, I would never fault you.
That would be a terrible announcement to make to your face live on the air.
And you're fired.
Yeah. And you're fired. Let's keep going. Yeah. So when The Other Way premieres on Monday, July 1st, we will be covering here on Tuesday, July 2nd, and that will be the show that will be here. Happily Ever After will move over to the $5 level of Patreon, Supercast, Apple subscriptions. It'll be there because it's The Other Way is going to be replacing Love in Paradise. So Love in Paradise will be over. So I'll put HEA over there. And also whenever Plathville comes, we'll put it over there. So Plathville will be coming this summer. We don't know when. And we also will be finishing up with UK. So lots of fun things happening over there, including MILF Manor, which I interviewed Lynette. That's over there on the $10 level. The MILF Manor recaps on the $10 level. That's got 7 more episodes to go. It's a 14.
I was going to ask,
14
how
episodes.
long is that season? Wow.
14 episodes. We just
how
got
long can the MILFs keep MILFing?
The MILFs can MILF for 7 more episodes.
They have a lot of more energy than I do.
I know.
That's why I'm not a MILF.
I had a great interview with Lynette this week. I loved her like I knew I would. And you know what she did this week over there on MILF Manor, Kimberly? She made a derogatory comment about someone's teeth.
No.
This new girl came in and she goes, she's got fucked up teeth. And I was like, I love Lynette.
She's your people.
Lynette is my girl. Lynette is my girl. It's so funny when I talked to her. She was like, I'm not perfect. I can be petty. And I felt jealous and I felt insecure.
Good
so
for her for admitting it. Okay.
She was like, I'm not perfect. And that wasn't the nicest thing to say, but it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And teeth are important. I was like, yeah.
They are important. But what Katie's always reminding me is that some people cannot afford to get their teeth.
I know that, Kimberly.
And then I feel
I
really
know
bad.
that.
But sometimes I'm like, but then why did you go on TV?
I know all of that, and I get it a lot. I'm just saying my own personal weirdness is I have a thing about teeth.
I
Listen,
just find them fascinating. Like, Katie used to love guys with messed up teeth. Like, the more messed up, the better. Like,
ew, Katie.
she that was her thing when we were in our 20s. And I just found it fascinating. So I would just look, what's going on there? Like, maybe I should have been an orthodontist.
And Katie used to have a little fang teeth, right? But she says she got them fixed.
She does, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was very self-conscious about them.
Yeah, but you said you loved them.
I loved them. I think they gave her character.
Yeah, but she didn't like them. I guess she had little sharp, little vampire teeth.
Yeah, and this douchebag said something once at a party when we were in college, and that made her more self-conscious. He was high and said oh, vampire teeth. Like he thought she was wearing a costume or something.
Oh.
They were not that pronounced. They were normal canines, but he was high.
Uh-huh.
But then she took that seriously.
Don't do drugs, kids. That's the takeaway.
You're just going to insult someone and give them a complex for the rest of their life.
Also, guys, I'm going to try not to cough, but yeah, I am going on a 2-week illness, and the doctor did just call in a new antibiotic and steroid. And here's another exciting part of my life. So my son is graduating. This comes out on Tuesday. My son is graduating on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're having the big, huge party. It's a party for him and his buddy. We're having a joint party here. And so that's a great time for a pipe to burst in your basement. So that's what happened. And they're going to be cutting a hole in the drywall to go to the outside pipe that burst. So that's good times with our brand new carpet that we just had installed 3 months ago. And you guys, it's just...
This is why I rent, because I can't... Well, also I'm poor and can't afford to buy. But it's so much stress.
Well, I have to tell you that we're not good homeowners because we are not handy people. But my daughter does have a new boyfriend, as it were, and he does work at a hardware store. So he's handy, and he might be bringing over a shop vac or something to help us out.
Yeah. Okay. Good. He's a keeper.
We're we don't know anything about. We literally did not understand why the carpet was wet for a week. We're do people keep spilling stuff down here? We are the dumbest.
Spot?
Yeah, same spot over and over. We're that's weird. Wonder if somebody keeps spilling the dog bowl, huh? Hadn't happened in 12 years, but wonder if it's happened. We are dumb. We are dumb. The plumber literally looked at us like, you poor stupid lady.
Cash cow. How much can I charge these people?
He's how long has it been wet? I was a week-ish. Oh, poor us. All right, let's talk about this show, and it's 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After.
I'm having more fun just chatting. Let's just
I know.
I didn't tell you about my flights. I didn't tell you about all the CrimeCon drama. No, it's fine.
We will have to talk about that.
I tried to vlog.
Yeah, and?
I think I missed most of the exciting parts. It's mostly just me walking around the hotel.
Okay.
Because the thing with vlogging is when you're in the moment, you're not thinking about vlogging. You only remember, oh, I'm supposed to be vlogging when you're just doing nothing.
Yeah, but you maybe when you're doing nothing, you can be let me take to the vlog to tell what happened earlier.
Yeah, that's
what we did at BravoCon. We would do here's what when we would walk back and forth to the hotel, Ingrid's get on it and tell everything that happened so you don't forget.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this show. I know you don't want to, but here we go.
I'm ready.
If you have to talk about Ed, I have to talk about Angela, and everybody loses. Everybody loses. All right. So season 8, episode 13, The Liar, the Witch, and the Postnup.
I mean, they're all liars. We know who the witch is. And we know what the Postnup is.
You weren't here last week, but the title last week was Pornocchio.
Yeah, that was
pretty good.
That was good. I'm actually super sad I missed Pornocchio and the epic meeting with the lawyer with Ashley and Manuel. I'm very sad about that.
Manuel and his facial expression. Huh? He's like Thais.
Are you saying the right number? Is that the right? Is he doing the math right?
Did you see the reel I put up of Thais and her face? Huh?
She has the best facial expressions.
She has the best facial expressions.
Yeah. Never get Botox, Thais.
No.
We need you to stay just like this.
God, she's funny. Okay, so let's go to, unfortunately for me, let's start with Angela and Michael. This will probably send me into a coughing fit, which I will have to mute because this is going to hurt my voice. So they're going to a restaurant. It seems quite treacherous to get to this restaurant. There's goats on top of garbage piles, and there's geese that she later calls ducks. And she says, Michael's been shady with the visa stuff. And she's talking to him, and he says, I was at fault yesterday when I said you could leave. But what I meant was, I don't know when we're going to find out the outcome of the visa. It could take a short while. It could take a longer time because the time frame wasn't stated. And she goes, you told me it was 2 weeks. Why would you say that? And he goes, well, I'm basing it on information I've seen on these visa journey groups on social media. I've been really studying it. And you don't know everything that I know. So that's why I was saying that. She goes, I don't know what you know because you keep secrets. Matter of fact, let me see your phone.
I don't know why she just hasn't cloned his phone. Is that possible? Because all of their relationship problems stem from his phone. Since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Remember when she went to that tech guy and asked if she could put it? So is there a way to just clone someone's phone so you can see everything they're doing?
I don't know. I'm not in the CIA. I mean, I assume there is. I don't know. So she's looking at something and she was like, this is $30K in contributions. And he goes, no. It's called a piggy. It's like a piggy bank. It's saving for a rainy day. And it's a bunch of little check marks. And she goes, I'm going to have to hire somebody to figure out what this is. Are you digitally putting money in a bank? And he goes, no, it's not a bank. It's a local thing. And there's a collector that keeps it for you in case of an emergency expense. This is what we do here in Nigeria and Africa. And she goes, so what it looks like to me is you're putting money aside that you could use for when you come to America. And he goes, no, it won't work in America. And then she says, well, you have no business opening a bank account behind my back, which is true. They are in fact married. So
yeah, although I'm sure she does. She got like major plastic surgery without telling him.
That's a great point. So he goes, no, it's a lot of saving. It's like savings. People do it, rich and poor people. And it's hard to explain because you don't understand my currency. And he goes, it's a local thing. And she goes, I know. But why do you have to explain everything to me? Everything you do puts us in a fight. And then you have to explain it the next day. And then she's like, where is his goddamn group chat? Let me look at all these goddamn people in here. So she's found the group chat that he's referred to. And she's like, Paradise, man. What the fuck? Let me check this motherfucker out. Oh, wait, you're the group administrator?
I love it. Good for him. He has an official position.
And he goes, no, it's just a group for people that are also on their visa journey. Goes, you son of a bitch. She's like, you say you help people. You have no goddamn business helping people, you motherfucker. She throws water on him, okay, or beer or something. And she's like, I came all the way to Nigeria to be made a fool of again. So now I got to tell you something. This did look extremely shady.
For sure.
And he goes, it's just a WhatsApp group because all of us were on this visa journey together. And she goes, you're on this journey. It's my journey. And she goes, I'm going to contact an immigration lawyer. And if they advise me,
what does that mean? It's his journey too.
I did watch a little bit, not all, of Pillow Talk. And we saw cute names just went out of my head. The cute girl that lives in Virginia Beach and the cute guy from Ecuador, the really good looking guy.
Yeah, Kara and Guillermo. And
they just had the baby, and they're just very attractive people. And she goes, I have to say, I felt that way when, you were doing the visa thing. I felt like it was my journey too. I felt I was as equally as involved because it did affect me. So she said she kind of understood that.
Well, does Angela say it's my journey too? Or does she just say it's my journey?
Well, she may have just said it's my journey.
Okay. So that's the problem I have.
So she goes, I'm going to find out if the immigration lawyer might just tell me to leave. And if they do, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave tonight. And he just looks at her and she goes, do you understand me? I am not as dumb as you think. This whole phone is mine now. You ain't getting it. So she starts to walk off. And then in Michael, in his talking head, now he's doing what the people in Love After Lockup do, where they look at the camera and they look down, they look side to side, and the camera is on them for just a second too long because you're really catching that uncomfortable looking around.
Favorite.
And he says, the Paradise Men, it just means that there are people coming to the U.S. because The U.S. is the land of the free, and that's all.
Sure.
That's all. Shady, shady, shady. So she starts to walk off and says to him, I'm going to eat. You can go suck your dick.
Jeez.
What? And that's when Annie was like, he's not a contortionist. Um, she was like, you're all, I didn't lie to you, but you got caught. We fight every single day. Move, ducks. I used to be scared of you. Now I'm not. Now I'm pissed. Get the fuck out of my way, ducks. Bye. See you later, Paradise Administrator.
That kind of rhymed. Did like our little rap. They were not ducks, right? So they were
geese.
Geese. Geese you should be scared of.
You should.
Geese are vicious.
They are vicious.
They attacked my brother once.
They will peck you to death.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
But also no living creature should be she shouldn't be scared of any living creature. She could fight a shark with her raw menopause strength and cigarettes.
I saw a post on our Facebook group that was, who's scarier? Is it Claire, Sophie's mom, or Angela?
Yeah, I think it's Angela because Claire is in a boot right now because she has an injury.
Well, currently, but afterwards she was threatening bodily harm on people and having the cops called on her. Mm-hmm. So same sees same. Mm-hmm. So she says she doesn't know what to think, but he is a scamming champ. And now she's got his phone. He's a sneaky snake. She's going to look at it. So she's walking around the apartment or the hotel or wherever she's staying, screaming, God damn it, son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. So she says she sees a photo of a woman on this app that they blur out, and it says, she day looking for a husband day. And she says, everyone is laughing. There are 100 to 200 people in the chat laughing at this older woman. And she says, it looks like he's the administrator to a chat where Nigerian men are looking for older American women to help them with visas. And if it's not a scam, then what the hell is it? And then she sees photo of money and is like, it's a photo of money. Michael's involved in a money ring. He's charging them. That's why he's got the Paradise Men. He's charging them. He's running a goddamn whore ring.
She just keeps changing what it is.
Then she sees a post.
He's a drug mule.
Yeah, I mean, she's
is selling bodily organs.
And then she sees a post about life insurance.
Yeah.
It said, is this bitch planning on killing me?
I died because you know how long I've been waiting for a crossover between 90 Day and Dateline for how many years now? 15? Years. I've been wanting this.
Yeah. You're right. This could be the opportunity we've been waiting for. Now, Meemaw has to sit down on this. And
she's worn herself out.
She sees a video of him saying, I have uploaded the 2022 tax returns of Angela. She's like, they know my personal business. And she says, at some point, you have to look beyond love making you blind. And they need to find someone who knows neither one of them to talk to them, to find out if she's just delusional here because she really thinks she needs help. I really think at this point, she doesn't need to know anything else other than she found this group chat that he's the administrator of with photos of money, talk of life insurance, and he's posting her tax returns.
Yeah, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck.
It's a goose.
It's a goose.
Yeah.
Normally she is paranoid.
Yes.
But she's cried wolf so many times. But I think this is.
Yeah.
How does he wind up in the US then? Once that he's gone to that meeting, can she retract or is it too late? The genie's out of the bottle now that he's gone to that interview. I
think that's the case. I think that now they're waiting for the approval and she can't do anything to stop it.
So now she's going to be like, well, he's coming either way. So I better keep an eye on him and we're married.
Bring him to my house to torture him.
Right. Yeah. And have him be around my children.
Mm-hmm. And grandchildren.
My grandchildren. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It's a mess. Okay. I want to tell you guys about the Row Body Program. Row provides access to the most popular weight loss shots on the market. The Row Body Program pairs a weekly shot with healthy lifestyle changes so you can lose 15 to 20% of your weight in a year on average and actually keep it off. You guys, I have done weight loss shots and I did lose about 30 pounds in 6 months or maybe a little less. And I did make lifestyle changes. I cut out alcohol by about 80%. I was trying to eat clean and I started walking the dogs twice a day. And with just those changes and the shots, I really have gotten back to a weight that is good for me. Over 200,000 people have already chosen Row to help them lose weight. The Row Body Program members have support throughout the process. This means their partner is going to handle the insurance paperwork to help get the medication covered. And if you're eligible for medication, patients will have access to their provider on demand for any questions. And you do have questions about these things, and it's really nice that they have somebody there that can help you anytime you need it. You can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. This means no scheduling a doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms. Average weight loss is 15 to 20% in 1 year with healthy lifestyle changes. BMI and other eligibility criteria will apply. Go to row.co/pinkshade. Sign up today and you'll pay just $99 for your first month and $145 a month after that. Medication costs are separate. So you're going to go to ro.co/pinkshade. Let's move on to Ashley and Manuel.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So they're driving back from the lawyer, and she honestly, like, she had my blood pressure rising in this episode. She was driving. My patience is at nothing with her.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
there's
Okay.
a spell for that. I need like some incense or something. So she starts right away. She's like, I don't know why we're not talking. Why does he seem to be mad at me? And he goes, you didn't tell me you have $100,000 of debt. We've been married for over a year. And you were probably never going to tell me, except you wanted to get this lawyer because you don't trust me.
Right.
So that's why we're not talking. And then she goes, what do you mean? And he's like, I didn't know about your economic situation. And she goes, what do you mean my economic situation? Like playing dumb, this gaslighting, I can't. Like, which don't act dumb now. You just bragged you have 3 degrees. And that's why you have $100,000, but now you're acting dumb. So
did you hear Chris and Wah saying what they thought her degrees were in? Pagan arts and potions from Hogwarts. Yeah.
So she's like, I don't think he understands how common student loan debt is, which is 100% true.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't understand that. But that's why it was even more important for him, for you to tell him, because he wouldn't know to ask. And I know in the past we've tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and been like, well, he maybe should have asked. But if it's not common where he's from, he would have never thought to ask, do you have 6-figure
student debt?
He would never think to ask that. So she should have told him 100%.
Yeah.
So she's like, he would rather fight because he loves to fight instead of just listening. You're not saying anything.
Yeah.
You've literally said nothing. And she's like, he's overreacting. I don't think he's overreacting. And I think it's not even about the money. It's about the fact that you didn't tell him.
Yeah.
And that you spend a lot frivolously when you have this debt.
But also she doesn't want him to know about the debt because she doesn't want to hear him say, like, you shouldn't buy that coffee.
Exactly.
Why are we going out to dinner? You know, all that. Yeah.
So why did she initiate this lawyer thing? Because she really thinks she's going to, in 5 years, be making millions of dollars. That's
okay.
A lawyer.
Okay.
I mean, I love the self-confidence.
Yeah. I mean,
I have imposter syndrome and think I'm the worst, even though I just won an award that says I'm the best. I still think I'm the worst. So good for her, but also no. And so they go to the grocery store and he doesn't want to spend any money on bagged carrots because now he's like so paranoid. Well, the ones in the bag are way more expensive. We're not getting those.
Yeah.
So he's like, you were never going to tell me, were you? And she says, tell you what? I can't. So she's like, oh, we're still talking about the loans? And it's like, yeah, he just found out half an hour ago.
How long is it going to take you to pay those off? It's going to be like 20 years.
100%.
Yeah.
And again, it's not even about having the loans. I mean, it kind of is, because I think that's excessive to get 3 degrees when you plan to be a witch. She
Yeah.
could have taken some business classes at night to learn about starting her own business.
Yeah.
So 3 degrees does seem excessive to me,
Yeah.
but if you're using your degree or whatever, it's fine. But like, you got to tell your spouse that.
Yeah.
So he says, you tell me that this is the crux. You always tell me that I'm secretive. I don't tell you about what's going on in my life. I don't share my problems with you. And you've been hiding this from me for
Mhm.
a year and a half or more. So she's like, and then she pulls this gaslighting. I've never seen the balls on this woman. She goes, well, I told you about them already and you forgot.
No.
I would have picked up a watermelon. They're in that produce aisle, smashed it over that lady's head, and I don't condone violence, but she would be fine. Remember that? Did you ever watch Amazing Race and that lady got hit in the face with the watermelon?
No, that's
Um,
terrible.
it was terrible, but she was fine. She
Huh.
was 100% fine. She didn't get whiplash or anything. It was on a boom, like a where you pull back, like a what's
Oh,
that called? And it
catapult.
catapult, and it
Yeah.
came back in her face.
Oh, God.
And she was fine. You can see it on the internet, slow motion. So, um, Ashley might need that. It might knock some sense into her. So, again, not condoning violence against women. So she says, I told you already and you forgot. And he, like, again, I can't with her. And she says it in this way where she doesn't even believe what she's saying. She got the idea in her head, like,
Yeah.
let's just act like this. Maybe the audience will believe me.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
like, she doesn't even believe. She's doing it all like, well, I told you and you forgot. Like, she's being all coy. Like,
Yeah.
okay. So he goes, oh, now I have amnesia. Are you a doctor now and a witch? Did you go to medical school as one of your degrees?
It was all very good. It
It
was
was
all very good.
so good. So she's trying to gaslight him, and then she sits in her interview and she's trying to gaslight us. And she's like, I told him and he forgot. Um, why didn't you bring that up at the lawyer then when he was acting all shocked?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
told him already. Why didn't you bring that up in the car? Why did you we saw it on your face when you came up with this idea in the produce aisle to tell him that you already told him?
Totally.
Okay, I'll just pretend I already told him. And like 5 people will believe me, and that's worth it.
Right.
So he says, I just want responsibility so we have a good future, so we can buy a house, so we can, like, live a good life. And he says, I just talked to my brother and my family needs money, but how can I send them money when you spend on all this crap, coffee, etc.
Yeah.
I would like to know what else she spends on. Like, does she buy a lot of clothes, candles, incense?
Mhm.
What I know, she probably gets her hair done, her nails done,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is fine. Again, it's fine. But if you're married, you need to make these sort of decisions.
Yeah.
So he says his family needs $300 more. And she says, why? And he says, it's not important. So now the tides are shifting and I'm getting annoyed with him. And
Yeah. Yeah.
he says, it's my job to support my family and I shouldn't have to justify this to Ashley. Yes, you should, because it's her money, because you're
Yeah.
not making any money right now.
Right. Yeah.
So, and you will, once you start working, that's fine. But right now it's her money. And she says, I just gave you $1,000. Where did that money go? And he says, well, my problems are mine and yours are yours. It's
So
insane.
back to square one.
So we're exactly where you started. And she's like, I am your family. I'm not your bank. Like, which is right, which is true. Again, don't get
Yeah.
me on Ashley's side, Manuel. You were winning this, and now you are making
Now
me
you're
on
talking
her
about
side.
money again. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, we should be partners. I don't want to feel like a supplier. This isn't supply and demand. This isn't the stock market. Look at all those degrees I had. One of them is clearly in finance because I mentioned stock market. So she's like, mad at him now, but also she had this major secret from him for a long time. So I don't feel like she has a leg to stand on either. So they're both just really pissing me off, but her more than him.
Okay. That's
Wait,
where
I
you
know
land.
you love him,
I
but
do love him.
this was shady too for him to say my family
Totally.
needs more money. after you just gave me $1,000 and we agreed on $200 every month.
And I'm not going to tell you what it's for.
It's my business.
My
It's
business.
don't worry about it. That's the thing guys do that will piss you off more than anything is if you ask a question and they go, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I hate that.
My husband will say, when we first got married, this is like a running joke in our family now, because he used to sleepwalk all the time.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
one night he woke up and he was like standing up or something. And I go, hey, what are you doing? And he says in his sleepwalking, he goes, you worry about you and I'll worry about me.
See, Manuel.
He was like a sleepwalking. And I said,
He was being sassy in his sleep.
Mm-hmm. You worry about you and I'll worry about me. It's a joke. It's a joke. My mother says that all the time. She thinks it's so funny. I was like, yeah, it was very funny at the time. All right, let's talk about Sophie and Rob.
And Claire.
And
they
Claire.
are in their own weird throuple, right? And Kay. They're in a quad. And Tarai. So we have 5 people in this relationship.
Mm-hmm. So Sophie is talking with her mom, Claire, and they're gonna meet with Rob or whatever. And Claire looks at, Sophie, as she always does, goes, you look sad. Look at your little face. You look so sad. And Sophie says, yeah, I spoke to Rob this morning, and Rob told me that his friend Tarai, who was at our wedding, who's our friend, he told me that Tarai says that I'm using Rob for a green card. And Claire goes, oh, I'm sure he's just saying it because Rob said that. I'm sure Rob didn't tell the whole story. I'm sure it's Rob's fault. And then Sophie tells us, if I was using someone for a green card, I would choose somebody with money in a bathroom.
I mean, preach.
Yeah. And she says she loves Rob and she moved there because she loves Rob. There's a lot about America that Europeans don't like. Not everybody wants to move to America.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point. Claire goes, we come from England. We have free healthcare, loads of job opportunities. We don't need to come to America for a green card, but I really don't want to go back to England.
I know.
Which was interesting, right? Yeah. She really doesn't want to go back. I don't know.
Maybe
she's been banned from England. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. But also, she lives in Mexico, right? I think it might just be a weather thing.
Yeah, well, could be.
I think maybe she's just tired of the rain and the gloom.
So Sophie says, yeah, when we talk, with Mom, I don't want drama. And Claire goes, I will be calm when I talk to Rob, but I have to say the truth. And then, really, if we have to, Sophie, we can move back to London together, although I don't want to move there. And Sophie says, in her talking head, she goes, Rob really needs to get it. We have to work this out or I will leave. So now she's looking at some new clothes that have come from Fashion Nova. And I know this because all the bags say Fashion Nova. And they're all, came in bags from China. And she's looking at it. And Mom goes, I'm beginning to wonder if you have a fashion addiction, but all your clothes are slutty. All your clothes, you look like a slut.
I missed that part.
Yeah, she said all your clothes are slutty.
Wow, I totally missed that part.
Yeah, and Sophie goes, not all of them. And she laughs.
Wow. Thanks, Mom.
So Sophie and Claire go to meet Rob at a restaurant. And why Sophie thinks bringing her mom is helpful is beyond me. I don't know if it's good drama for the show, but it's a bad idea.
It's the worst idea.
Sophie's telling Claire that she is very attracted to Rob still, that she loves his face and his body. She's very attracted to him. Mom says maybe that's lust, but she didn't marry him. So Rob arrives. He hugs Sophie. He's like, you look nice. You look great. Look at this. So, he's learning. Got to give her compliments. Be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Then they talk about the cicadas and he gets a drink and he's like, all right, you ready for this? And they laugh about drunk Rob is great. She loves drunk Rob. Not great to talk about with an addict at the table, but whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Claire starts going in on Rob and talking about how awful he is. And she gives the example of how he acted at the sex shop and how he manipulates Sophie. He makes her feel this big. And Sophie goes, well, wait a minute. Now, I don't think he did it on purpose. And Claire looks at Sophie and goes, you need to stop. And as soon as you're in front of him, you melt. And Rob goes, well, it's true. I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't know. I didn't do that on purpose. So Rob tells Claire, I've tried to do better and I am trying to change. And for some reason, you just are not believing it. And Claire goes, listen, clever clogs. So
I wrote that
funny.
down too.
clever clogs. And then a lot of people posted in the Facebook group that is like that's a thing. Silly sausage, clever clogs.
I
You know?
like it better than Rob the Knob. Rob the Knob, I always felt was very weak and not
Yeah.
as clever as she thought it was.
Yeah. So she calls him clever clogs and says, you belittle her when you're in the house together. And this morning, she said what Tarai said about the green card. And Rob goes, yeah, but I stood up for Sophie with Tarai. And, Rob goes, here's the thing. When you're married, the two people have to try to get together and try to work it out. We should try to work it out. And Claire goes, yeah, but when one person treats the other one like shit, then that person gets to leave you. And in her talking head, Claire goes, Rob just tells Sophie what she wants to hear. And then Claire says to Rob, you're a horrible, nasty person to my daughter. Nothing has changed. I mean, in this conversation, I don't know what Rob has done to make Claire just go on the attack. She's not trying to have a conversation. She's not listening to a word. She's just on him.
I think they all came to this meeting with different agendas, and hers was just to get them to break up officially. But Sophie somehow thought it was to help them work it out.
And then her mom was going to be like a arbiter of change.
Claire is an escalator. She's an agitator, much like the washing machines that Gino and Jasmine are looking at. She's an agitator. She is not a marriage counselor. She would be the worst at this. She's horrible. Why would you bring her?
Yeah, I agree. And so Rob says, it seems like Sophie just brings people around us that want us apart. And Claire is a great example of this. And I can only take so much of this until I snap, like he's trying to be calm. So Claire says to Sophie, why are you even entertaining talking to him? I mean, that's the point of why they're there. And Rob says to Claire, why are you even here? Like, if you don't want to be here, why are you even here? And Sophie goes, I want you, both of you, not to be rude to each other. And he goes, I'm not trying to be, I'm not being rude.
No, he didn't start this.
He didn't. And Claire goes, I have nothing more to say to Rob. And then Sophie goes, letting my mom come here might have been a mistake.
Yeah, you think?
You think?
Sophie's
so Claire,
not the brightest.
So Claire says, I don't think it's healthy for her to stay with you. And Rob says, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not your decision. And you just have to sit back and see what happens. And Claire goes, if Sophie had a dad, he would be having a conversation with you because any good dad would not let his daughter be treated like this. And Rob goes, I don't know how many good men you've actually been around. So how the hell do you even know what a decent guy is? And Sophie goes, okay, well, now you're being rude. And he goes, she's being nothing but rude to me, which is true.
Also, Rob, you have benefited by Sophie not having a good father figure in her life because that's the reason she stayed with you for this long.
And Claire says to Rob, Claire says, Rob is a disgrace. And, she's like, I'm leaving. And Sophie goes, yeah, okay, Mom, you should go. And Claire says, he's a gaslighting twat and I hate him. I hate him. He's a horrible man. Sophie, you should fall out of love with him. Is Claire a middle schooler? Like, what's happening here?
I don't
so immature.
And everything she says about Rob is also true to her. So she's gaslighter. Right. She's the one. She also talks in circles and fights in circles where it doesn't make any sense. And
I think that Claire only ever having her mom, who is a terrible mother to her.
And they're super codependent.
And so now her trying to go and be with her husband, she is just she sees everything Rob does is trying to control her because she's like, my mom's trying to control me. My husband's trying to control me. And I'm not saying Rob is husband of the year or anything like that.
No, we've been so down on Rob. I very much dislike Rob.
But Claire is the problem here.
Absolutely. 100%. Both are huge problems. Sophie should get away from both of them.
So in the talking head, Rob goes, Claire is saying that I'm manipulative, but she's crying to Sophie to get her attention, to get her away from me. Actually, Claire is the one who's manipulative.
On her crutches.
And she's crying. And then in her talking head, Claire says, if he's really fighting for Sophie, he can't even be respectful to Sophie's mother. Oh my God, it makes me so sad because my Sophie is falling in love with the wrong person. Falling in love? They're married.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? They're married.
Also, you came at him saying he was a horrible person.
Yeah, right away.
Away.
Claire's a piece of work, man.
Yeah.
And I feel, I'm feeling more and more sorry for Sophie that she's had to deal with this woman as her mother. And then she thinks like, I'm going to get married and have this happy life. And then she's got Rob, who's no prize.
Uh-huh.
So Sophie goes over. She just needs to be alone. Let's just put it
Yeah,
that way.
she needs some intense therapy.
And she needs to just have a couple of years of just Sophie time.
Yep.
So she goes over and talks to Rob and goes, you know how it is with my mom. You have to watch what you say to her. Like, meaning like you have to
Why
go on
did the
eggshells with her.
baby this woman, this grown woman?
That's what they're doing. And he goes, I don't know. And she goes, you got to go over there and talk to her and apologize. He goes, no, I think I'll talk to Claire, once you and I are on better terms. Like, I got to work it out with you. I don't need to worry about what Claire's doing. And she goes, I can't keep having your back, Rob. And Rob goes, but she's not interested in anything. I have to say, the only answer to Claire is, I'm a piece of shit. And that's it. And then she goes, but you're putting me in the middle. But no, Sophie, you're putting him in the middle.
You brought your mom.
Yeah, you brought your mom. So I don't know. This is just, it's never going to get better. Everybody needs to go their separate ways.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's move on to Patrick and Thais.
And John.
John dropped his accent quite a bit this episode. I don't know if you noticed it. It came in and out.
Comes out more when he's drunk. Or is he trying to get people in Brazil to understand it? So the three of them and the baby are driving back from the dad's ranch. The dad who wants to charge them for his granddaughter's first birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make any sense. And then we learned that Patrick's mom died just a few months ago. And I remember she was like never well in the show.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. And that is kind of why he's willing to ignore what a douche his dad is. Because he's like, he's the only parent I have left.
Yeah. It's very sad. It's very childhood trauma. And
yeah.
Last week when John met up with Jose, when he met up with Jose, that look that John gave Jose was all we needed to know about how Jose was as a father.
Yep. Yeah. And then Patrick says his relationship with his mom was not good either. This poor guy. So Jose, they're talking more about how Jose is a mooch, and basically he also lets himself into that apartment when they're not in town to use their washer and dryer, which Patrick doesn't think is that bad. But even John, if John thinks that someone's a moocher, that's pretty bad.
You're a moocher. Yeah.
Yeah. So John thinks they should stop using the apartment. Patrick thinks it has sentimental reasons, but also he wants to help out his dad. Mm-hmm. So the next night they're going to dinner with the two dads. So it's like hot daddy versus cheap daddy. And I can't wait to see who wins. And Thais's mom, who also like left Thais as a child, but now they've reconciled.
People said that it was Thais's dad and stepmom. And then other people said it was Thais's mom. But because I don't take notes on these two, I was only half looking. And now I don't know the answer. I feel like I have to go back and watch it.
I thought she said my mom left us when I was a child. She missed me having my first period, everything. But now that I've had a baby, we're closer now.
Oh, okay. So I didn't catch any of it.
I think that's why she is so close to her dad and why they're kind of so codependent too, and why he was so like overprotective and like, don't take my daughter away, because it was just the two of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. I don't know who that other lady was. Maybe it was the dad's wife, or maybe an aunt or something.
Yeah. And then other people were like, was it an aunt? I was like, I didn't think Thais had a mom. So I need to go and like really study that scene further.
I think this is what she said, something about getting a period.
Okay. All right.
But maybe I missed the whole thing. So don't come here for accuracy.
No.
So John starts screaming to them, I'm John, Patrick brother. And because he seems to think, since they don't speak English, they also are hard of hearing.
Yes. Guillermo was saying on Pillow Talk that's what, when he used to work in the DR, that Americans come up to be like, I would like to get a beer. He was like, okay. Why are you yelling?
Is
Yeah,
that just an American thing? Or is it
maybe.
just us that dumb? Or is that other cultures do that if they're talking to someone who doesn't speak their
I
language?
don't know. Let us
So
know.
they're all laughing at him. Like, they can hear John, it's fine. And then Thais's dad comes up and says, "Oh, you're John. You're the noisy one. You're
Mhm,
not going to be noisy here." And like,
mhm.
they're all laughing at John because he's the one who doesn't speak Portuguese at the
Yeah.
table. So it's hilarious. So they all just are making fun of him. And he's so jovial about the whole thing. Like, I think they like me. Yeah, it's hilarious. And and then the dad, hot daddy, says, "Should I sit on John's lap?" And I was like, "Yes, please. What's
Okay,
happening?"
sure.
Okay. So it's all nice and fun. And then very quickly, Thais says, "Well, we're trying to plan this party." And Hot Daddy says, "Jose, you have the nerve to charge your family for your granddaughter's first birthday party." And then Cheap Daddy says, "Carlos, who's Hot Daddy, you need to mind your business." And then we don't know what happens next. But it was literally laughing, so much fun. And then suddenly Hot Daddy just takes it. "You have the nerve."
I like that Hot Daddy brought that up.
Yeah,
I
that's what
liked it.
we're all thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Hot Dad. Tropical Smoothie Cafe believes you deserve a getaway every day, not just once a year. Summer mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Mocktail hour on the pool deck is just a sip away. Nothing says summer quite like a tropical mocktail smoothie. They have fan favorites like Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and a Watermelon Mojito smoothies. Yum! The Mango Berry Cosmo, of course, is my favorite. It has mango, strawberries, cranberry, and lime. And these are around for just a limited time. So grab a bunch and head over to the pool deck. Join Tropical Smoothie Cafe for a pineapple mango watermelon soiree all summer long. You're going to grab these 3 special mocktails at your local Tropical Smoothie Cafe and then meet your friends poolside. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, you're on Tropic Time now.
Yeah.
Jasmine and Gino, I took a picture a couple of days ago in the CVS of a guy that looked so much like Gino. I didn't get his face. I just took a picture of the back of him.
Uh,
And I keep remembering, I need to remember to post that. Because I mean, literally, I was like, has Gino come to Virginia? Like, what's happening? Hat, everything. Okay, so these two are headed to shop for a washing machine. And she is in the most pure outfit we've ever seen her wear. Very cute.
she looks Puritan.
Yeah, she does. She tells him he's bad at parking. He would never make it in Panama. And then she says, after my big fight with Gino about his porn addiction, things are awkward. But he doesn't want to talk about it. So here we are at the appliance store, avoiding our real problems. Happy marriage, happy life, American dream. Wow.
She's so bitter.
So they talk about the washing machines for a minute, and she finds one that's aesthetically pleasing. He's looking for one with an agitator. He's done some research, and she's
Their
being
house does not need another agitator.
no, and she's being like you're an expert now. And he finds one that's $500, and she rolls her eyes, and then she goes, it's not fair. We have to prioritize money for these things for the house, but not for things I want to prioritize. Let me tell you something. See how long you'll last without a washer and dryer. It is a priority.
I have to use a laundromat, and I've never seen Jasmine at the laundromat. I think she would die there.
Yeah. So he says, earlier I had lunch with Uncle Marco, and Uncle Marco told me to be the bigger person here. And, he says Uncle Marco's opinion is very important to him, and he trusts his advice. He's like his dad. So he tells her, I spoke to Uncle Marco today, and he encouraged me to go ahead and sign you up for the pageant. So I did it. I've paid for it now. So she's happy about that. And he goes, but listen, of course, everything comes with a string attached. He goes, I have expectations for you. This is too late now. It's too late for these. I want you to start by not having arguments with me. I want you to not say hurtful things to me when we do have arguments.
He's and like she made a list like Rob when Rob made that list.
Things that you do that are wrong. And she says, I don't start arguments. I get mad because you don't listen to me. And why does it have to be Uncle Marco saying you pay for the pageant? You should just want to do it. And then she says outside in the talking head, she says, everything has to be a condition. If I do this, then you do this. He's using manipulative psychology on me that's used to train dogs. He's not God. He's a shit, bald man. Well, we just said you weren't going to say mean things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I thought you loved his shark teeth and his bald head and his
white
fish.
legs.
What your white legs? Something about his nose. Yeah.
Yeah, his shark
nose.
Shark nose and tiny teeth or something. Yeah.
Something about his teeth. Yeah.
So she says, well, then I guess I'll need to thank Uncle Marco for being on my side. He goes, well, you never thank me for anything. You never thanked me for anything. I busted my ass to get you to this country on the K1 visa from Panama. And she goes, a real man is a provider and never throws in your face a list of things he did as a real man. And he goes, really? Well, because he only knows how to do back at her, as we pointed out. Well, a real woman is calm and not gentle and not argumentative and not angry and bitchy. And she goes, well, then what are you doing with me?
Yeah.
And he goes, good question. I didn't have a comeback for that one.
Outside, he tells us he has supported her for 3 years emotionally and financially, and this is the thanks that he gets.
He misheard because she did not say you're not a provider. She said a real man is a provider and doesn't throw it in your face all the time and want constant thanks and validation for it.
Yeah, right.
And he heard, I'm not a real man.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just quickly go through Emily and Kobe. As I predicted, because I've been watching these shows a long time, y'all. The two ladies walking up were not Kobe's ex-girlfriend. I knew it.
I fall for it every time.
No. He says, I don't know. Those are not, I don't know those ladies. And, I texted her the time and the location, but now it's getting late. We should go. I don't think she's coming. And she says, I really want an answer about this. So maybe you can explain it to me. And when did you actually break up? And he goes, I don't know, but basically we never actually said it was over. But once, I was with you and you were pregnant, like I knew I had to only focus on that. And she was like, so I got pregnant and you proposed, but you were still with her? You hadn't broken up? And he goes, why are you doing everything to ruin this moment? I was like, actually, she does need to, it doesn't matter. But it is good to know that he never broke up with this girl that he dated for 7 years.
100%. She has a right to know. And I don't think she's trying to ruin the moment. I think this could have been over last week if you just would have said the truth at the beginning when she asked you.
Yeah, I think you could have just said
You're stretching it out.
Valerie was right. Yeah.
I was a dog. I was a player. I was super young and immature. And I kind of ghosted this girl and was dating other women. And it was douchey.
It wasn't cool. I shouldn't have done that. He says, I had never asked you how many guys you went with, or you banged or whatever. And you know what? From this point on, let's move forward. And she goes, so you were seeing other people in China and you didn't tell her. And he just kind of doesn't answer. And she goes, you were just keeping her as backup. She goes, I would be pissed. And I feel bad for her because that's not cool.
Yeah. He owes this other girl an apology.
And she says, listen, I just want to be sure when you fell in love with me, it was with your whole heart and you weren't still in love with somebody else. And he says, I was not in love with her. And then he says, let me ask you, do you think I love you? And she says, yes, of course. And he goes, then why are you trying to ruin this moment? She goes, I'm not trying to ruin the moment. I'm just trying to find things out. And she says, I know that he loves me. And I just want to be sure there's no more secrets because this has put a damper on this as his wedding is coming up. I don't want any more secrets to come out in the future. And then they kiss and they walk away. And this was a pointless scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is being shady and should have been honest when she asked him.
I know. And we don't like to say that about Kobe because we love him so much.
I love Kobe.
Yeah. But he should have told the truth.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish with your favorite couple. It's Ed and Liz.
Oh my God. Could he have been more douchey in this scene?
No.
He is just such a bag of wieners. So
he's so horrible.
He's horrible. So he bought a boat because he's done with expensive cars and he wants to party on the river. And I was like, just admit that you're having the longest midlife crisis ever because you're almost 60 years old.
Yeah. Because he just wants to party on the river. What are you, 19?
Bang chicks and break up. You already had a fiance who was half your age, but
Yeah.
that wasn't good enough for you.
Right.
So now you want to go skeeve out all the college girls at the river.
All the local ladies there in Arkansas. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So, and he's making the biggest smoothie I've ever seen. Like, it is one of those, like,
Yeah.
what's that? The really fancy blender
The ninja.
filled to the top
Yeah.
with fruit. And he's bitching about how no man could spend his life with Liz because of the way she acts, because it's her fault.
That was a horrible thing to say.
I can't, he hopes that she acts maturely when she comes to pick up her stuff because
Mm-hmm.
she's so immature. Well,
Mm-hmm.
she is half your age, but I do think she's more mature than you are.
Yeah.
So Liz and her mom are traveling back to Arkansas to get her stuff. I don't understand why he couldn't just leave the house for this. TLC probably wanted this fighting, but
Yeah, of
like,
course.
I think anyone would just leave the house for the day too.
Well, right. Where's he going to go? Going to go hang out on his pontoon boat, or he's going to go sell some
Right.
houses? I mean,
Right.
yeah.
So, or at least you want to look like you've showered and change out of that way too tight tank top that he's always in, where his boob is hanging out. And I'm not body shaming. It's just like, I don't like that tank top. And he
He's so
always looks
gross.
like he smells. So, like, shower at least if your ex is coming over.
All of it.
So
Yeah.
she walks in and he doesn't look up from his phone and says, "Oh, hey." Like, okay. And she's talking about how this place is disgusting. Now, when she left last time, he said, "I've got to figure out, like, how do I clean this place? How do I take out the trash? Do I pay someone to clean up and take out the trash? What do
Mhm.
He has not done that. It's been a month. He has
Mm-mm.
not taken out the trash. There's trash everywhere. There's rotten fruit everywhere. He didn't do it. He's a little boy. He's disgusting. And so, and it probably smells horrible in that place. So he's trying to be charming, like when she cusses, "Don't cuss around my dogs. They can hear you." Haha. See, we're just bantering. I'm not that bad.
Mhm.
And then the mom starts in and she's like, "Look at this air fryer. You should have cleaned this because you're cooking in slime. You're supposed to clean it."
I
And
don't.
he's,
This whole thing with Liz and her mom talking about how messy and gross he is, like they shouldn't have done that. They should have literally just not spoken, done the
yeah,
task at hand. But I'm sure the production was like, "Oh, you think the house is messy? You should mention
yeah,
it,"
say something.
because that just kicked him off.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
he's like, "Well, I'm normally very neat, but I've been waiting for Liz to pick up her stuff, and then I'm going to hire a professional cleaner. So
Mhm.
I didn't throw out rotten fruit
Right.
because
So
I'm
what's going to happen the week after that?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
because I'm waiting for this professional cleaner." So they start screaming at each other about who's paying the rent and like rent and the
Mhm.
furniture, and I didn't even pay attention. And then he starts joking about the mom being there, and I get two for the price of one. And the mom says, "Maybe if you've been a better man to my daughter." And then he goes, "Well, maybe you should have been a better mom and raised her better. You abandoned her." And then Liz says, "Just ignore him. Don't start fighting. This is why his daughter won't speak to him." So it's just like
It's just so
shot
both.
and shot about about each other's family.
Yep. Yep.
And it's horrible. And then the mom is furious. And then Ed spills his giant smoothie all over the carpet and starts trying to clean it up with a beach towel. And I died. This whole scene was just so gross and sad. And the mom says he's going to die a sad, lonely old man, and he'll spend the rest of his eternal life in purgatory hell.
I want to say the funniest thing that the mom said, and I took a screenshot of it because it was so great. She says, "There is no word, written, spoken, ancient, or any language that may come in the future that can describe that son of a bitch."
So it's son of a bitch, basically.
That is hilarious.
She is a way with words. Let's get her on Pillow Talk, but I don't want Liz on Pillow Talk. Let's get somebody else to pair with them.
I would like Liz to just go away and live her best life, and I don't need to see her ever again.
Go away. Go find your daughter. Go to another country.
Yeah, whatever country that is that her daughter lives in.
Some overseas.
Yeah.
We don't need to know. Mind your. Don't worry about it, Mary Payne.
Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's my business.
Yeah, so that's the end of them. And I mean, I hope, they have literally been on every show now, including Therapy Island.
Yeah.
So well, hopefully we never again, unless Ed finds a 90-day fiance again.
Or Single Life.
He's already been on Single Life. We don't need it.
Bring him back.
We don't need it.
I don't want it. I'm just saying they don't seem to care what we want.
Well, that's a great point.
Yeah.
There was an email exchange this week between me and one of my TLC people, and I wrote back, literally, "You're killing me.
Yeah. Just
You're killing me. You're
Please
killing me
stop.
with this. You're killing me." I'm sure they enjoyed that hot take. Okay. Next time on 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, looks like Kobe's family arrives with the items for the bride price. And they're like, "Where's the goat?" There it is. And Emily goes, "Oh my God, that goat is so cute. But I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be traded for a goat." It was the most Emily thing Emily's ever said. It was hilarious. We see hot dad saying, "You're charging money from your own son, man." And Jose says, "I'm retired." And John jumps in and to, start fighting. And Patrick says, "John, don't get involved." Lauren and Alexa.
Okay, that's rich because
Yes.
I'm so nice to Patrick and Thais this season, but they pissed me off on Single Life because they went after John and his new relationship.
Yes,
doing
they did.
the exact same things that they did in their relationship. So,
okay, that's right. But is John still engaged to that sleepy girl? We don't know.
I don't know. But we don't know the future. And they said you're moving too fast, even though he brought over Thais, and it was the whole it pissed me off.
Okay.
They sabotaged that relationship right in front of her. They were like, "No, John can't commit. He's so immature. He shouldn't be around.
He doesn't
children.
want kids."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Lauren and Alexi have a fight about how much she can and cannot do post surgery. And she's like, "I'm not supposed to be doing any of this." And he goes, "We were not prepared for this surgery." And he gets mad and goes and sleeps on the couch. Jasmine tells Gino, "I'm sorry I hurt your masculinity, but I want you to be taking the initiative in intimacy. And this is not how a marriage should be because they're newlyweds." And that's probably partially true. We still don't know if Jasmine
never been
is
like this. Why did you marry him? You've always had to take the lead with sex.
Yeah, great question. And is she dating the guy from Planet Fitness? We don't know.
She just posted a picture of her and Gino.
I think it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay, Claire talks to Sophie about Rob, and Sophie says, "I'm at the point where I have to stop running from my issues, and I either have to move back in or just leave. Like I have to make a decision." Angela tells Michael, this was interesting. They're sitting at this table, and she says, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to report you to the federal government. I've had enough." And he jumps up to try to get the phone from her, like in a moment where she wasn't holding on to it too tight. He jumps up to try to get it really quick, like you do with a kid when you're playing like that slap game, and it seems like a PA has it that grabs it off the ground. And Michael says, "Give me that phone. It's my phone." To the PA, like very angrily. And you hear her going, "It's my phone." But
it looks like a tussle is breaking out.
But I mean, he looks like
scary.
He looks scary. He looks mad. He looks like, "You give me that fucking phone."
Yeah. What is on that phone?
You better throw it in the river, buddy. You'd be like, "Nothing to see here. It's in the river." It doesn't look like we get Nicole and Mahmoud next week. Where are they?
Oh, yeah. Again, he's still wandering the streets of LA.
Has somebody got eyes on Mahmoud? Where is he? All I know is this show, we've gotten word, is going to be on for a very, very long time.
Wow.
So we're sticking with HEA through the summer. But as of the 1st of July, it's going to move over to Hey Bunky, and we're going to be covering the other way here on the free feed. And Kimberly, 2 words for you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody,
who's on the other way? Good couples?
Well, it's new people.
Not all new. Is it all new people?
It looks like it. Yeah. Somebody tell me if not. I try not to look at the previews too much.
The other way usually is all new people.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, you make sure to follow A Date with Dateline at Dateline on Instagram. Make sure to listen to their amazing podcast. They have an interview with Andrea Canning this week. Over here on Pink Shade on Thursday, I'm going to have a MILF Manor Bravo crossover with Deanna Chang because a contestant on MILF Manor was also on Below Deck Med this week, and we had to take to the microphones to recap it.
Oh my God. I love Below Deck so much.
So Below Deck Med, the first charter guest of the season, is this guy named Jacob.
Yeah.
And he's on MILF Manor.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
and
very
he's
excited.
the most boring influencer you've ever run across.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, we're going to make sick content, bro. The content's going to be silly, bro. It's a lot of that.
And they didn't get wine, right? There was no alcohol because the provisioner messed up. Okay.
They had one bottle of champagne.
Yeah, they were really boring influencers, that whole group.
Yeah.
That was just like, I'm on a boat.
Take a picture of me
Take
on
a
a boat.
picture of me on a boat.
Yeah. So that is going to be on Thursday. We're going to be covering episodes 1 and 2 of Below Deck Med with Deanna Chang. And then, of course, over on the weekend, we've got MILF Manor and we've got 90 Day UK and 90 Day Love in Paradise, which will be ending and will be replaced with the other way, which will be here, and HEA will be over there. It's very confusing to be involved in the 90 Day universe. It's very confusing.
This
Very
franchise
confusing.
has taken over all of our lives.
Everybody follow Kimberly and follow me at Pink Shade Pod.
And you hit 10,000, right?
I sure did, girl.
Yay! Finally, we did it.
We did it, Joe. We did it.
I'm so proud.
Yes. Thank you to everybody who joined in those efforts. And don't worry, probably be another couple of months and I'll start begging to try to get to 12. I don't know. I don't know what the next number is, but I hit that first one and I'm feeling pretty because now I've got the K. You know, it says 10K.
Yes.
Yeah. So that feels
The K
good.
feels good. Yeah.
That feels good. That feels good. All right, everybody. Thanks. And I'll see you Thursday. Bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.